TP Cycles here with the weekly update on November the 10th. So we did get a bounce, but much more than a bounce this last week. So we cancel out any kind of bearish scenario here, and with this strong move we should not expect any big downside very short term. This strong move and A move suggests we should at least expect a dip, a B move, and then another move up with a C. After this move you want to buy the dip. So clearly these two were incorrect. Also here I have noted looks like my 4-week cycle has changed into this black cycle here, and that's kind of interesting because last time the cycle changed, that was in the very beginning of this bull market, going back 2 years, and before that it changed around April 2022 when the bear market had just been confirmed. So we are in a kind of a pattern where the cycle is changing when the market is going from bull to bear, or from bear market to bull market. So that's kind of interesting. But I cannot say if this means that we are now going very soon into a bear market. That could be the case, but we'll have to see. So anyway, at this point I'm expecting some kind of a dip, and the B move and then the C move. We could go on further than that, but yeah, this is a possible setup, but we have to see the next couple of weeks how that develops. So when zooming out, here's the 3.5-year cycle, and we have now ended the very bullish part, this green part. So is that a good point to sell? Well, going back here we see the market continue up. Here we continued up. Here we continued up. Also in 2010-11 we continued up. But here in 2007 that was an okay point to get out of the market. Here the market had more upside, and the year 2000 top, well, that was a pretty good time to get out. But definitely there's a big probability that there is more upside here. And I had two scenarios for an early bull market top. So this scenario here in green, we follow that one very nicely here in the summer with what looked like a double top in August. We crashed down, and was that the bull market top? No, we rallied strongly up from this point here, as we see, and we broke this scenario. It was no longer a possibility, but now we have this red scenario, which for quite a while has suggested a top just after the election, and I would expect, similar to this point, that the market kind of respected this scenario and tested it, but this scenario failed. And in the same way, I'm expecting the market to kind of know about this scenario and wants to test it. So I'm expecting a move down soon, but is it the black one where we break this trend line and then there's a danger of making a shoulder, but we could make a double top or a higher top in the winter? Or is it the more bullish green one where we find support at the election level, and we get a rally into New Year and into when Trump takes over and end of January, and well, all the way into February, March. I have these triangles here. That's a cycle, and you can also see this cycle in the scenario, in the red scenario, and also here in black the actual S&P. We see this was a cycle top, this and this and this, and now we are at the cycle top. And the next cycle top is in March and then in July. And we will get very soon back to that cycle. Yeah, some kind of a top is close, and yeah, let's just switch over to that cycle, because that is this one. It's a 17-week cycle, and it's been working very good for many years, and it has a top just where we are now in a week or so. You see, this top in the summer was a very early top. Market topped out before the cycle, and I would regard this high low as the cycle low. So at running correction A, B, C, where the final C is a higher low. Anyway, I'm looking for some kind of a top here in November, November, December, well, at some point, and then a low. But seasonality is not very bearish, so we have to see about that. That could save the market. But some kind of a reaction down here, and then there's a big danger we break this trend line. And if we break it, it's a question of can we recover and make a double top or a higher top around March. And looking into the daily data wavelets, I'm not seeing any sell setup here. Looks like, expect upside for another couple of weeks. But if we get something like this, a more sideways action with some higher highs, then I could see a possible selling setup in about 2 weeks. But we have to evaluate that the coming 2 weeks if it develops in that way. So yeah, looks bullish short term, and longer term we are in this red channel since the bull market began, and we are at the very top of this channel. So can we break out of it, or yeah, we have to see about that. So no selling setup here at the moment. And looking at the hourly data, we see we are now at the 2-week oscillation high, but I can't see this as a selling setup. It's a more wait and hold situation, and then when we get to the next weekend, that we have to see then, have we made a sideways move, a consolidation move, or will we? Yeah, we have to see. But I see a buying setup coming in about 1 week. Here you want to buy the dip after such a strong move. So we have to see, will we get a pullback or a more sideways move? And here we want to buy, and then we have a possible bigger selling setup coming here. No earlier that I would expect, but it could be later. But we have to see at this point. And going back to where we began, it's too early to calculate this new cycle. You only have a few months of data, but we have to see if the cycle, or if the market now stabilizes with this new formation. And here I have the 1 cycle offset. Here in red we compare with the market 1 cycle back in time. So we see the rally began just where the previous rally began, and I see a possible setup now where we are making some kind of a topping formation, and that could set up for a pullback where we break the offset, and that's a bearish sign. When we break the offset, that can give us a bigger correction. Here we found support, here we found support. Question is, will we find support here in about 3 weeks time, or will we break it? Yeah, so it's too early to say that this is the bull market top. It has a potential to be so, but it's also very possible we could make a higher high in the winter. See ya!